This World Cup was never supposed to work. Middle Eastern desert, winter tournament, controversy before kickoff even happened. But Qatar 2022 didn't just work. It became the most dramatic final chapter football has ever produced. Messi at 35, Ronaldo at 37, Neymar, Modric, an entire generation walking into their last shot at glory, and a 23-year-old Mbappé ready to take everything from them. What happened next broke every script. Right from the start, Qatar felt different. This wasn't just another tournament. It was a tiny desert peninsula remade by a staggering $220 billion. The first World Cup in the Middle East, forced into the dead of winter. But beneath the gleaming steel of 8 massive new stadiums, a grim shadow hung over Doha. Bitter controversies over migrant worker deaths and human rights abuses triggered global outrage and loud calls for boycotts. Before a single ball even rolled, the air in Qatar was thick with friction, carrying a heavy, almost suffocating weight. Across this glittering desert, the ultimate football chessboard was set. Lionel Messi arrived in Doha at 35, carrying the hopes of Argentina on a 36-match unbeaten run, yet still chasing the single trophy that eluded him. But he wasn't alone in his obsession. Cristiano Ronaldo walked in as a free agent, his club career in flames after a toxic, explosive split from Manchester United. Neymar had already declared this would be his final World Cup, desperate to secure Brazil's 6th star, while Luka Modric prepared for one last, defiant dance. Standing in their way was defending champion Kylian Mbappé, the heir apparent ready to claim the throne. The pieces were in place. For these icons, there was absolutely no room for failure. But the first twist came before Argentina had even settled into the tournament. On day 3, Saudi Arabia pulled off a seismic 2-1 upset, snapping Argentina's 36-match unbeaten run and leaving Lionel Messi's lifelong dream looking suddenly catastrophically doomed. Argentina had to fight through fire just to survive, clawing their way back with intense 2-0 victories over Mexico and Poland. And this is where the World Cup stopped making sense. The shocks triggered a massive chain reaction across every single group. Germany collapsed entirely, sent home early after a stunning loss to Japan, who then went on to beat Spain too. Belgium's highly praised golden generation quietly faded into the desert night, completely choked out by a fierce Morocco team rising well past dark horse status. Everywhere you looked, the established order was breaking in public. Brazil looked strong but beatable. Portugal won their group, but Cristiano Ronaldo looked visibly uneasy on the pitch. In Group H, South Korea's late winner against Portugal sent Ghana and Uruguay packing in a dramatic revival of their infamous 2010 rivalry. By the time the group stage ended, the pre-written narratives were completely dead. The bracket was fractured, the heavyweights were bleeding, and the script was officially gone. The round of 16 became a rapid-fire elimination where the margin for error vanished. The Netherlands brushed past the United States 3-1, while Lionel Messi scored his first ever knockout goal to edge Australia 2-1. Then, the drama spiked. Croatia dragged Japan to penalties, where Dominik Livakovic became an instant hero. Brazil danced through South Korea 4-1, and England swept Senegal 3-0. Defending champion Kylian Mbappé took absolute command, scoring twice to dismantle Poland 3-1. But then, the real chaos hit. Spain suffocated in their own sterile possession, falling to Morocco on penalties, and Portugal made the ultimate gamble, benching Cristiano Ronaldo. And his replacement, Goncalo Ramos, scored a sensational hat-trick to crush Switzerland 6-1. The pressure ladder was officially set. Louis van Gaal lit a fuse before kickoff, openly questioning Messi's work ethic. The response on the pitch was pure hostility. Argentina surged to a 2-0 lead, but the match quickly devolved into a street fight. Paredes fired a clearance directly into the Dutch bench, triggering a massive brawl. Wout Weghorst came off the bench to score a dramatic double, equalizing in the 11th minute of stoppage time. In the shootout, Emiliano Martinez dominated. But the real shock was seeing Messi's quiet facade vanish. Fueled by adrenaline and anger, Messi snapped at Weghorst on live television. "What are you looking at, fool? Keep moving." Meanwhile, Neymar believed he had written his crowning moment. His breathtaking extra-time goal against Croatia was a masterclass in pure Brazilian genius. But Croatia hit back late, forcing penalties. Brazil collapsed, and Neymar was left weeping in the center circle before he could even take his spot kick. England faced France with no fear, matching the champions blow for blow. Harry Kane buried his first penalty, but Olivier Giroud punished England late with a brutal header. Handed a second penalty to save his country, Kane stood over the ball and sent it flying over the crossbar. Mbappé smiled. France marched on. But the heaviest heartbreak belonged to Portugal. Youssef Nesyri leaped into the sky to head Morocco in front. Cristiano Ronaldo entered from the bench, chasing one last rescue, but Morocco's red wall defended with absolute conviction, making them the first African nation to reach a semi-final. At the final whistle, Ronaldo walked down the tunnel alone, tears streaming down his face as his ultimate dream evaporated. Argentina met Croatia with the memory of past scars, but this time the chaos died. Lionel Messi opened the scoring from the penalty spot before Julian Alvarez bulldozed his way through the defense. Then came the moment. Messi, twisting and turning, leaving Gvardiol in the dust to feed Alvarez for the third. A clinical 3-0 victory. Argentina stopped chasing the tournament. They were now commanding it. Meanwhile, France brought cold, ruthless focus. Morocco's historic run finally hit a wall. An early strike from Theo Hernandez forced them to chase, before Kolo Muani sealed their fate late. Morocco exited with dignity intact, leaving Kylian Mbappé as the final obstacle. The Lusail Stadium became a collision of eras. Lionel Messi, at 35, stood 90 minutes from completing his legacy, desperate to end Argentina's painful wait since 1986. Across from him stood his Paris Saint-Germain teammate, Kylian Mbappé. At 23, Mbappé was already chasing back-to-back World Cup titles, a feat untouched since Brazil in 1962. A clean generational handover was supposed to arrive, but these two giants refused to yield. On this final night, the past and the future stared each other down in the Doha Desert, waiting to see which of these kings would break first. Argentina completely dominated the opening hour, suffocating France with relentless intensity. Angel Di Maria was unplayable on the left wing, dancing past defenders before drawing a clumsy foul from Ousmane Dembélé to win a penalty. Lionel Messi stepped up, took a deep breath, and calmly sent Hugo Lloris the wrong way, 1-0. Just 13 minutes later, a devastating 5-touch counterattack sliced France wide open. Mac Allister squared the ball across the box, and Di Maria swept it home to make it 2-0. Les Bleus looked utterly broken, so completely lifeless that Didier Deschamps made two desperate substitutions before halftime, but with 10 minutes left, the match turned into pure madness. Kolo Muani won a lifeline penalty, and Kylian Mbappé drilled it home to make it 2-1. Just 90 seconds later, the impossible happened. Mbappé played a quick wall pass, leaped into the air, and struck a ferocious world-class volley into the bottom corner. 2-2. The final pushed into extra time, transforming into an absolute war of attrition. In the 108th minute, Lautaro Martinez's shot was parried, and Messi scrambled the rebound over the line. 3-2. Argentina could taste the gold, but a late handball by Gonzalo Montiel handed France another lifeline. Mbappé converted the penalty, sealing a historic hat-trick to make it 3-3. Then, the 123rd minute. The single moment that still haunts French football. Kolo Muani was clean through on goal with the World Cup on his boot. He launched a thunderous strike, but Emiliano Martinez extended his left leg for a miracle, gravity-defying reflex save. In the shootout, both superstars scored their opening spot kicks. But Martinez dominated the mind games. France missed twice, and Montiel stepped up to convert the winner. Messi fell to his knees. Finally, a world champion. Today, the legendary era we took for granted is over. Qatar didn't just crown a champion. It set an impossible standard of drama that will haunt every tournament to come. The throne has passed, but the shadow of Lusail still looms. What was your favorite moment? Share your thoughts below.